Within physics, a particle is imagined as the smallest building block of materialism, the indivisible piece from which everything is composed. In this view, reality is like a cosmic Lego set assembled from subatomic bricks. But when we inquire directly, does reality actually have parts? In other words, is presence, the presence of this, ever experienced as being broken into discrete, independent blocks? Descriptions of reality appear in parts only as a consequence of language, but reality itself is present indivisibly. Even what we call a thing, a chair, a body, a thought, is only relatively distinct. The apparent separateness of things comes from abstractly dividing and naming experience. In other words, distinctness is purely conceptual. Seen this way, the idea of a particle is the discovery of material substance only as an abstraction of presence, a linguistic tool for modeling, predicting, and categorizing within physics. Useful, yes, but never directly observed in the way it's conceptually defined. Matter as substance is always abstractly inferred, extrapolated from patterns that appear coherent within the indivisible presence of being. In fact, physics itself is already moving in this direction as it becomes increasingly common to describe particles as localized excitations of a field, like ripples in a continuous whole. This shift in description is simply one aspect of how the lines originally drawn by materialism are beginning to blur. But what exactly is this field? If we're not careful, it risks being interpreted as just another deeper quantization of matter, another attempt at reducing wholeness into parts. The suggestion is that what field is referring to is not in fact something material, but rather an implied context in which things appear physically. And given that the nature of this context consists of unlimited responsive potential, perhaps it's not separate from what the word consciousness refers to. After all, the direct experience of being aware expresses the presence of unlimited responsive potential. If reality is not made of parts, then ultimately the search for truth cannot be a search for smaller pieces. It must be a recognition of the wholeness already here. The ocean is not understood by counting the waves. What is most essential is not material or mental, but present and complete. When this becomes clear, the division between inner and outer, mind and matter, observer and observed dissolves. What remains revealed is what has always been present, a single, infinite being, appearing as modulations of itself. This recognition opens the door to a kind of exploration rooted not in an attempt to justify an abstract fragmentation, but in coherence. And as this clarity deepens, every expression of life, including technological development, begins to reflect it. Conventional technology, grounded in materialism, starts with the assumption that reality can be engineered by manipulating distinct components, particles, circuits, forces. But as the seamless whole is recognized, a new kind of technology emerges, one that is naturally harmonized with the inherent intelligence of being. Instead of control, it draws upon principles of resonance. In this light, even time, space, gravity, so central to our current materialistic frameworks, are revealed as transparent appearances within a context that is both unlimited and intimately present.